Grandpa, Saturday coming is election day. Any peaceful message for the country?
Ebusia eje egwa beka enya bufuo. Me papa Thomas Kwabran pofo a wanya ne baby ko. Ono na ka kire me se opanitiri ho na yeho akuma. Na anansi wofi a yenhwehwe ni onwene ntentan. Abato bre ene ewomu yi aka emre kakra bi na yakoto aba. Million century bi Eco-Voter region papa ya wo hwe ni mfoni okone nchen ekobisa ne se abato afe ene ewomu yi aka kakra na yakoto aba. Ghana for yesade ya hoden yetumi ekwohye amanyokuo bi nsa mfie polepole enan ono a madwen edansie ono a enya fe na obedwen abrabo ho no waka asem bi abusua mese ese fata se memfa embesomo share video no na foforo nya bi hwe abato afe ene wo mu no amanyofo obi aka ne nsem wo be fi se obi aka ne de awi obi gina kire wo hu ne ekọ ne eba yenko na yenkohwe opani nsem a ode abatudwa afa abato a ye kwakoto yi ho subscribe
akraba ya das ye bo abaso se wan kasa why sa research no now dey to abonten bisa one question. That's the kind of journalism we are looking for.
Thank you. My name is King Koveyao. We are speaking from S Bush Pillow in Sugakope. Your question, as we stand at a crossroad as a country in history with the threat of global conflicts and unchecked corporate greed, widespread poverty and an environmental crisis, we must rise together in unity. A new consciousness rooted in kindness to ourselves, others and our planet is the path forward. With the experience I have observed since Kwame Nkrumah's days 1957 to date, about 60 plus years, I think Kwame Nkrumah laid a very strong foundation for Ghana and Africa, but due to the new colonialist or imperialist agenda of disorganizing Africa not to move forward, Kwame Nkrumah was overthrown through the manipulation of the Eurocentric group of people, which is the Europeans or Americans and the imperialists. People who we call imperialists are people who are against the advancement of Africa or Afrocentric system of governance. You see, Africa has its own ideologies or governance systems. So the question you asked me, 1992 Republican administration, we have NDC and MPP as a duopoly politics actors. For 32 years, they have disappointed the masses of this country. When we talk of a better standard of livelihood, anytime you look at them, you listen to them, they preach infrastructure. They have done this. Nkrumah did a lot of infrastructure, but it's the same group of these two duopoly system, MPP, NDC. They came and disposed of Nkrumah's assets. They use the name privatization, but before you see the infrastructure Nkrumah built for us, which is some of them is Akosobo Dam, the Tema Harbor, Takrady Harbor, and all those things, and Cocoa Board, Gihawk.
Yeah.
You see, they sold some of them, even Blaster Line ship and the Ghana Airways. All are Nkrumah's investment for our better livelihood. These two governments, they sold their properties, NDC, MPP. They sold it. So for me, with the age I have, 70 years experience in Ghana, studying Ghana politics, I want to advise all youths in Ghana, NDC, MPP, other political party youths, or that Nana Kwame Bediako of the New Force, which is a movement, and the same ideology he has, African Continental Unity, have the same thing, but African Continental Unity Party, they are not in 2024 elections. So somebody who is building the tattered foundations of Kwame Nkrumah, if you see their education, their campaigns, or you could see Nana Kwame Bediako is the only presidential candidate who is telling the masses or the voters that for him, he has come to build on the foundations of Kwame Nkrumah. So I, as a Pan-Africanist, and Nkrumah is, there's nobody I can follow than Nana Kwame Bediako of the New Force. I think that's the alternative person we can give this country to, and we believe he would rebuild this country and build it to Africa. So you know, Mahama was here before. He was a vice president, and after Mills died, he took over the realm of office for, let's say, for 4 years as for himself. And you could see the mess he play our economy too before we voted against him. Somebody who mess up governance. When we talk of governance, that means the engine of growth of an economy. So if you give a steer to somebody, you buy a new vehicle, you give it to somebody, and he mess up the engine, when you repair it, do you give it back to him? No, you won't do that. So we kicked him out because he messed up the economy, and we gave it to Akufo-Addo and Bawumia administration. They also, in the actual fact, they were not able to make us feel the natural resources God has endowed with this country. They were not able to manage the economy so that at least in Universal Declaration of Human Rights, Article 25, they said the basic necessity of everybody is food, clothes, shelter. Then maybe you think of your education and medication and other social services. Those things, you see them, the campaigns they are making. Oh, they have made this road, they have this built this hospital, but what about the human capital who are the assets of this country? You don't talk about them. How every day we get our square meal, a very delicious rich meal 3 times a day. Some is 001, some serve is maybe 100. They don't eat before they sleep. Even some too, what they eat, we will not say it's a nutritious food they have eaten. Me myself, sometimes if I eat, I could see say what I'm supposed to feel when I eat. I didn't feel it. So I'm talking from my own experience in my own house, how we suffer. So we don't see the need, or I don't see the need for MPP, NDC to be giving this power. Nana Kwame Bediako is telling us he has come to pursue apostolic governance with 12 pillars, industrialization. Mahama said 24 economy. You don't have the industrial base. How are you going to implement the 24 hour? Bawumia say digitalization. You don't, the foundation of industrialization, or how you refine our natural resources into finished goods, that brings about the industrialization. You are not able to talk about industrialization. You are talking about 24 economy and digitalization. So Nana Kwame Bediako's industrialization, that is how Nkrumah started, because after independence was the agenda. Kwame Nkrumah and co, Kwame Nkrumah, Julius Nyerere, Kenneth Kaunda, Sekuturi, and a whole lot of founding fathers of African Organization of African Unity. So they fought for our political liberation, but now is the time for economic liberation and a mental decolonization, because you know the imperialists, the whites that came and scrambled for African land, they took our gift of nature, or the education God has given away, our indigenous knowledge system. They took it from us and imparted the Europeanistic Western minister system of knowledge into us, and they told us, they demonized our education system, our indigenous knowledge system, and then we left it and followed them. So now they have confused us and we follow them blindly, even in politics and everything. Last minute they made us to believe that the gold, the diamond, the manganese, the mineral resources we have, they use paper money to come and bait us with that, and they took the mineral resources away from us. And now because of that, paper money become a legal tender, but the correct money is the gold and the diamond. So I'm saying industrialization is the base of every economy, and they know, the Europeans know that when they allow Africa, how God endowed we with natural resources, when they don't mismanage us or brainwash us, distort our focus, they will become beggars to us. So Nana Kwame Bediako, his advocacy is saying 12 pillars. He said reserve. Whatever natural resources we have, we will not sell it raw again. We will refine it and send the finished goods to them. We will not sell raw materials to them again. And that is one point which I want to tell our youth, or every Ghanaian, that when we talk of wisdom, or our fight we are fighting is economic liberation, and the economic liberation is embodied in the industrialization. And the industrialization means if we have gold, we have diamond, we have cocoa, we shouldn't sell the cocoa seed again. We have to use our indigenous knowledge and science and technology, African one, not imported one, our African knowledge, to invent industries that will change those raw materials into finished good. Tomatoes should be made into can so that we preserve it for food security. So I'm advising Ghanaians, especially the youth who are the majority for now, especially the youth and the first time voters, they should give their votes to Nana Kwame Bediako of the New Force on number 12. That is the best choice for us. If this is the opportune time, and if we didn't use this chance well, like the way we miss Kwame Nkrumah through coup, we all seen how we suffered as a country. Another chance has come for us to recall Kwame Nkrumah's legacy he left for us, so that we build on that foundation. Nobody should make a mistake. Oh, NDC, they have ruled before, so they have the experience. This is not a matter of experience, but it's a matter of God's intervention for a new dawn in governance for Ghana. And if we allow this opportunity to emanate from Ghana, that means Africa is going to be liberated economically. Africa will have economic freedom. The moment Ghana have economic freedom, Africa is going to have economic freedom. So I'm talking as a instrument for world service and Pan-Africanists and human rights activists. Because if you go to Congo now, the way the whites or the imperialists are manipulating the system, they are exploiting our mineral resources. Even sometimes United Nations aeroplane was used to come and collect mineral resources from Africa. So let's learn a lesson from Traore of Burkina Faso, Mali and Niger. They have sparked the revolution, and Nana is doing it as a civilian, and Ghana one is going to be the best revolution. We call it social revolution. And this social revolution, if it emanates from Ghana, and it is we the masses who have to give the opportunity. So nobody should come and use money to brainwash or bait anybody. But the best thing, go hungry, and tomorrow you become the best way you use your time. It's just a sacrifice. If you do it rightly, when we talk of welfare state, if you go to formerly when Gaddafi was in charge, people don't use money. Government pay everything. If you want to marry self, government pays for you. Government pays for your food, your health, your school. Government does everything. We call it welfare state. They use the resources we have, the resources God has given us, the government, the good governance, or the good government will use the resources, because the resources is not for a few people, it's for all of us. So if somebody like Nana Kwame Bediako is given the opportunity, he's already in his business. He is not hungry, but he could see the trauma and the suffering we are going as masses. So for us to get a good leader who will talk our voice, Nana Kwame Bediako is the best man to go for.
Abusia, many asanchon bisa openi ne say nkomo awedi nyina no. Omo a peaceful message na yemfa nsori so tie.
Yeah, there is a peaceful message. I will say the new year is just in the corner. For a call to action for our future as a country, I am employing all youth and even the mothers and fathers of this nation, Ghana, that the only option for us is we vote for Nana Kwame Bediako as our president, and it shouldn't come through any violence. We should preserve the peace, as the whole world know that Ghana is a peace haven. Everybody should conduct himself or herself in a holistic manner that will let the whole world clap for us. But I want to stress the points again that the duopoly politics shouldn't take our mind. We should abandon NDC and MPP and vote for Nana Kwame Bediako as our next president, January 2025, in a peaceful, fair, free, and credible election.
Thank you so much, Grandpa.
Abusia eje gwabe kan ho enya bufu fana futuo emfana bufu koto aba na to ne papam mesan no edi ehia da foforo. Bye bye.